Caroline Reece didn't come home after the gala. She didn't call, didn't clock in at the hospital. Her phone sat on the kitchen counter. Her wine glass was half full, her porch light still on. Hillgrove, Virginia, was used to quiet. But on April 7, 2019, the silence felt different, heavier. For 3 days, the town searched for the woman everyone loved. And on the third day, the truth rose from the dirt near Carter's Quarry. She wasn't missing. She was murdered. But the real horror? The killer had eaten dinner at her table just weeks earlier. Caroline was Hillgrove's light, a 32-year-old pediatric nurse at St. Mary's Children's Hospital. Children called her Miss Sunshine. Parents called her a saint. She volunteered at blood drives, ran a community reading club, and was the lead coordinator of the town's annual charity gala. She wasn't rich. She wasn't flashy. She lived in a modest brick bungalow and drove a dusty Honda. But Caroline had something everyone in Hillgrove noticed: peace, at least on the outside. When police entered her house, there was no forced entry, no struggle, just eerie stillness. Then, while searching her bedroom, they found something chilling. Behind a row of coats, a false wooden panel. Behind it, 6 journals spanning nearly 3 years. In them, Caroline documented a secret no one saw coming. I never meant to fall in love with him, but somehow, it feels like the only real thing I've ever had. She was referring to Pastor Ellis Monroe, 43, husband, father of 2, and the revered head of Hillgrove's Baptist Church. Caroline met Pastor Monroe in 2016 after her father died. She began attending grief counseling at the church. He listened, he prayed, and then it turned into something else. The journals detailed secret motel visits, weekend retreats disguised as conferences, intimate moments in the church basement, countless promises that he would leave her soon, but he never did. And Caroline's tone shifted in late 2018. She began expressing fear, not of Ellis, but of Lydia Monroe, his wife. One entry stood out. She saw me at the pharmacy. She didn't say a word, but she didn't have to. I felt her hate like a knife in the air. Another journal entry was more direct. If anything happens to me, don't let them blame the wrong person. Lydia knows everything, and I don't think she's okay. April 6, 2019, the Spring Hearts Gala. Caroline looked stunning in a lilac dress. Dozens saw her laughing, mingling, even dancing with Pastor Monroe under the string lights. The last confirmed sighting of her was at 11:14 p.m. By 11:47 p.m., her street was silent. A neighbor's Ring doorbell caught grainy footage of a woman in a trench coat walking up Caroline's steps. Her face was obscured, but her car, a red sedan, was found parked nearby. It matched Lydia Monroe's. On April 10th, a city worker near Carter's Quarry called police after finding torn fabric tangled in a fence. The fabric? Lilac satin. Not far from that fence, dogs found a shallow grave. Inside, Caroline. She had been struck in the back of the head. No struggle, no defensive wounds, no robbery. This wasn't random. It was personal. Detectives retrieved data from cell towers and surveillance cameras. Lydia Monroe's phone had pinged near Caroline's house at the exact time she vanished. A locksmith receipt was found in her car, dated 3 months earlier, for a duplicate residential key. When asked about her whereabouts, Lydia claimed she was preparing for Easter service all night. But her phone, browser history, and journal evidence told another story. Her search history included how to kill someone without getting caught, blunt trauma fatal spots, can love affairs be used in court testimony. It wasn't just rage, it was premeditated. Lydia Monroe was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The trial gripped the region. She pleaded not guilty. Her defense team claimed she had only meant to confront Caroline, and things got out of control. But the prosecution presented a timeline of stalking, manipulation, and cold calculation. The journals were read aloud. The jury heard Caroline's last words to the world. I know I shouldn't love him, but I do. And if she kills me for it, so be it. In just 2 hours, the jury delivered its verdict. Guilty. Lydia was sentenced to 32 years in prison. But then came the final bombshell. Police obtained a warrant for Lydia's private storage unit, registered under her maiden name. Inside, they found a burner phone, maps and photos of other women who had attended private counseling sessions with Pastor Monroe, journal entries that weren't Caroline's, and one handwritten note that still terrifies detectives. The first is always the hardest, but after that, they stop getting in the way. Caroline's family launched the Caroline Smile Foundation, which provides therapy and housing support for women facing psychological abuse and emotional manipulation. Every April at the Spring Hearts Gala, one seat is left empty, draped in lilac and lit by candlelight. But as the town begins to heal, one question remains. Was Caroline really the first, or just the only one who ever got found? Detectives believe Lydia may have been watching other women who never knew they were in danger, and what they found on her burner phone could point to more than one victim. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because in part 2, we open Lydia's burner phone, and what's inside changes everything you thought you knew.